Hello students, so today we will discuss the properties of determinants by the use of which we can find the value of a determinant without the expansion of sigma aij into cofactor ij. We have in previous sessions discussed that sigma aij into aij equals to determinant of A for different columns or a different row. For a particular row, or column. Second property, the very important property is, we all know that if we multiply a matrix by a constant, we have to multiply that if A is the matrix, square matrix, and K is an element, like if A is a matrix, A, B, C, X, Y, Z, P, Q, R, and if you multiply this matrix with K, then what happens? We have to multiply all the elements of this matrix by K. K, KB, KC, KX, KY, KZ, KP, KQ, KR. But this is the property of a matrix only. If you multiply a matrix, remember, if you multiply a matrix by a scalar, we have to multiply that scalar with all the elements of the matrix. But in case of determinant, unlike matrices, if we multiply, this is true only when if A is a matrix. If A is a matrix, so I am telling you the difference between this matrix and the determinant in terms of multiplication with a scalar. If A is a matrix and it is multiplied by a constant K, it all elements of matrix A will be multiplied by K. This was the rule for matrix only. This was the rule for matrix only. But remember, in case of determinants, if you multiply, always remember, if you multiply a determinant with a constant, it will be either multiplied to a row, a single row, or it is multiplied to a single column. But in case of, this is given only for the reference. We are studying the topic determinants, not the matrices. In case of determinants, if a constant is multiplied by a determinant. We know that determinant is always a square matrix. But in case of determinant, if a constant is multiplied by a determinant, if a constant k is multiplied by a determinant, it will be multiplied to any one of the row or any one of the column. For example, in case of determinants, if a constant k, write in your notebooks. But in case of determinants, if a constant k is multiplied by a determinant, it will be multiplied to any one of the row or column, unlike matrices. In matrices, we have to multiply constant to all the terms. But in case of a determinant, like if we write a determinant a equals to 1, 3, or we like it in terms of unknowns only, A, B, C, P, Q, R, X, Y, Z. And if we multiply it by K, K can be multiplied to first row, like K, KB, KC only. And this P, Q, R remains as it is. Or K can also be stated as, if you multiply by first column AP X only, means K, KP, KX, B, Q, Y, C, R, Z. Or we can multiply with any of the row or any of the column. Means if we multiply it by third row, then also it is okay, Kx, Ky, Kz. But if we have multiplied by third row, then all the other rows will be written as they are. Means if any row or any column is multiplied by k, we must divide it also by k. Sometimes this also can be done. Like the same property is if there is a determinant 2, 4, 8, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 6. So you observe that 2 is common in first row. Means if we take this 2 common from the first row, it is 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 5. Means it will be taken common from any one of the row. Or if this is 3, 9, 12, 6, 18, 4, 7, 16, 20. Now look at this. This is one more example of this type of taking common, means multiplying and dividing both. In this we have multiplied by 2. So we have divided by 2 to make it equal. We can write it as R1 is operated as 2 into R1 by 2. Means row 1 is operated as 2 into row 1 by 2. Means we have multiplied row 1 by 2, which is written outside the determinants, and we have divided it by 2, which is done in only one row. Similarly in this, if we take 3 common from first row, it becomes 1, 3, 4, 6, 4, 16, 18, 7 and 20. Now we can take 4 common from this column also. 3 into 4. So 1, 6, 18. This is written as it is. 3, 4, 7. Then we take 4 common from third column. This column. So 4, 1s are 4, 4 4s are 16, and 4 5s are 20. Now again, if we observe the second row, 2 is common in this also. So we can again take 2 common. Taking 2 common means we are multiplying by 2 and we are dividing by 2. There is no need to writing the rule like this. 1 3 1, 3 2 2, as we have taken 2 common. Only writing this 2 is sufficient. 18, 7 and 5. Now we can easily expand this determinant by using the first property. The sum of elements of a row and their cofactor. The sum of products of elements of a row and their cofactor always gives a determinant, or for a column it is also true, which we have discussed in previous sessions. So hope you all must have understood this property. If we multiply or divide any element with a determinant, it will be multiplied to any one of the row or any one of the column. In case of determinant, if a constant k is multiplied, so we make it more general by writing constant k is multiplied or divides a determinant. It will be multiplied or divided by to any one of the row. I have written only to understand it, or divided by, that's it. Okay. So now we discuss the next property, very important property, third one. As we know that if we transpose a determinant, it is giving the same answer. Now we can expand a determinant by any column or by any row. It means that if its transpose is taken and then we find a determinant, still it will be same as the determinant of A. Means determinant of transpose of a matrix is equal to determinant of that matrix itself. Determinant of transpose of a matrix is equal to the determinant of that matrix. They must be, remember, square matrices only. Determinants of transpose of a matrix is equal to determinant of that matrix. If A is a matrix, its determinant is denoted by determinant of A. And if we transpose it, so if we expand it either through a row or through a column, it is giving the same answer. Means determinant of transpose of a matrix is always equal to the determinant of matrix itself. Next. Operating continue to write in your notebooks. Operating elementary row or column transformation to a determinant. Means what? If we write a determinant A, B, C, X, Y, Z, P, Q, R, and if it is operated or applying, anything can be written. If we write applying R1 as R1 minus alpha R2 plus beta R3, it will give the same result. Means what? R1 is, we know that ABC. R1 is ABC. So if you multiply all the elements of R2 with alpha, means alpha x, alpha R2 means alpha x, alpha y, alpha z, and they are subtracted from the corresponding elements of row 1, means A minus alpha x, B minus alpha x, C minus alpha z, and then if you multiply all the elements of row 3 by beta, so beta p, beta q, beta r, so they will be added, plus beta p plus beta q plus beta r. It will give the same result. The next rows will be written as they are. In using this, always remember, if there is R1 in the left hand side, we have to write R1 in right hand side also. And those operations which are done are shown only in first row, not on the other row. Similarly, we can apply this to any one of the row or any one of the column, like if we write, and at the same time also, at the same time means once if in a step we have used the row transformation, so we can use column transformation also in matrices. During elementary row transformation, either we use only row transformation or we use only column transformation, but in a matrix we can use row transformation as well as column transformation in the same question. Like in this, if we use the column transformation only, column transformation means what? If we write C1 is operated as, or we can use C3 also, there will be no problem, or there is no need to use all the columns at a time. We can use only two also at a time. Like C3 is operated as C3 minus C2 means what? C3 we know that is CZR and C2 is BYQ. So C minus B, Z minus Y, R minus Q. Next one is written as it is, BYQ AXP, like this. So this is called operating elementary row or transformation, and we can do both in same question. Like if I have given you a question in my sheet, question number 5A, though some more properties will be used, but I am going to discuss only these properties. 4115, the first row is 4115, this one 7979. The second row is 7179. Third row is 2953. Okay, so how to solve this? For this, we write applying, we are observing that C1 is largest and we have to bring 0 and 1. The main purpose is to bring 0 and 1. So 41, and if we multiply this row by 8, means C3, column 3 by 8, it is 5 8s are 40, and if we subtract it from 41, 41 minus 40, it will be 1. 71 minus, it will be also multiplied by the same, that is 8. 72, it is minus 1. And this will be also multiplied by 8. Means C1 is operated as, if C1 minus 8C3, means we will multiply all the elements of column 3 by 3. So 5 8s are 40. 41 minus 41. We can write it. 41 minus 8 into 5. Second element. 71 minus 8 into 9. Third element. 21 minus 8 into 3. So it becomes 1. Then check it. 79 it is actually. Third, 79, 79, 29, 5, 3 and 41, 1, 5. Okay, correct now? So it is 79. Clearly 41 minus 40, it is 4, 1. Then 79 minus 8, 9 is 72 is 7. Then 29 minus 24, it is 5. Then 1, 7, 5, 5, 9, 3. So these elements are now very easy. Again, if we use C1 is operated as C1 minus C2. If again C1 is operated as C1 minus C2, what do we get? 1 minus 1, 0. 7 minus 7, 0. 5 minus 5, 0. 1, 7, 5, 5, 9, 3. Now, if you expand it along the first column, all the elements are 0. When they are multiplied to their cofactors, they will give 0 again, and sum of 3 zeros will be 0. So answer will be 0. Hope you all must have understood this property. Property of elementary operation or elementary row or the column transformation. Okay, so now we again revise the properties. First property we have discussed, the sum of products of elements of all the elements of a row or a column with the cofactor gives the value of determinant A, which we can learn again from our first video of determinant. Next property is multiplying a determinant by a constant. If we multiply determinant by a constant, it will be multiplied to either any one of the row, like we have multiplied K to A, so it has been multiplied with R1 only, or it can be multiplied by only one column. So using the property, we can take any one constant common from a row or a column, which we have discussed as examples in these examples. Now, as we know that if we expand a determinant by column wise or by row wise, it is giving the same result. It means that if we interchange the column and rows, means if a transpose of a determinant is obtained, it will give the same determinant as its original matrix. Which determinant of transpose of a matrix is always equal to the determinant of that matrix always. And we know that determinants can be done only when it is the square matrix. Again, operating elementary row or column like this, we have discussed R1 minus alpha R2 plus beta RT, and its example is if we have operated C1 as C1 minus 8C3, this is not necessary to write. I have given you for simplification. So 41 minus 5 into 8, 40, 41 minus 41, 79 minus 5, 9 8 is 22, is 729 minus 3 8 is 24 is 5. So one more property we have seen that if two rows or two columns of a determinant are identical, the value of the determinant will be 0. This is for the same reason that if we subtract one from the other, it will give 0 only. So write the next property, and we will now not do this operation. If there are two identical column or two identical row, we will directly write that the value of determinant is 0 as it has two identical columns. So this is the fifth property. Write in your notebook. If any two rows or columns of a determinants are identical. Identical means their order must always be the same. 175, 175. It doesn't give 157 and 175. Then they are not identical. Okay. If any two rows or columns of a determinants are identical, the value of determinant will be 0. If any two rows or columns or any two columns of a determinant are identical, then the value of that determinant will be 0. The example is this. Okay. And sixth property is also can be determined. If all the elements of a row or a column are 0, then value of that determinant will be 0. If all the elements of a row or a column are 0, value of the determinant will be 0. Next property, property number 7. If any two rows, write it also, if any two rows or columns of a determinant are interchanged with each other, are interchanged, remember, the value of determinant will be changed by a factor of -1. Means what? In previous determinant, if we take it again as an example, 4115, then 7979, again 2953. If we interchange column 1 and column 2, means column 2 becomes column 1, 175. Column 1 becomes column 2, 41, 79, 29. Then it will be multiplied by minus. The reason is very clear that if we open it through the first row, it is plus, minus, plus. But when we open it, when we expand it through the second column, we know that it starts with minus, plus, minus. So when we interchange them, this minus, plus, minus goes to the first column, while plus, minus, plus goes to the second column. So to make them in the same sign, we have to multiply by minus. So listen to it again and again what I have said. Then you will understand what I am saying. As we have changed the column, so we have to multiply it. We have to multiply the value of determinant by minus to make it equal. Now, if you solve it using the same method, it will give the same result again. Otherwise, it will be negative. So if any two rows or column of a determinant are interchanged, first column becomes the second column becomes the first column. what we have done, we have interchanged C1 and C2. So it has been multiplied by -1. We can denote it by this symbol. Next is property number 8. Property number 8. If a determinant has all the elements below the principal diagonal 0, then value of the determinant is obtained by the product of diagonal elements only. Or if all the elements above the principal diagonal are 0, then also value of the determinant is obtained by product of the diagonal elements. Or if both are 0, then also same will be done. Means if x, y, z are in principal diagonal and all the elements above the principal diagonal and all the elements below the principal diagonal are 0, the value of determinant is obtained by the product of its diagonal elements. So write this rule also. If all the elements of if all the elements above or below the principal diagonal of a determinant are 0, then value of determinant will be obtained by product of elements of principal diagonal. These type of matrices are called as upper triangular matrix. This type of matrix is called lower triangle, and this can be called only the diagonal matrix. Okay. This is upper triangular matrix. Upper triangular matrix. And this is lower triangular matrix. And this is diagonal matrix. In all the three cases, the determinant is obtained by the product of diagonal elements. Next, very important property is the switching property. Switching property. Like this. We can apply this to any column or any row. X, M. So first column can be switched. A, X, M, C, Y, N, E, Z, P, plus second determinant will be B, X, M, D, Y, N, E, Z, P, like this. This is the switching property. And one more very important property. If any row is crossed, any row or any column is crossed, means this PQR is written as first and other two are shifted back. We have to multiply the determinant by minus 1 to the power number of columns or the number of rows it has crossed. Like in this, we have crossed this third column PQR by 2 columns. So it is multiplied by minus, value will remains the positive only. This property can be understood by the examples only. So we will discuss it in next sessions while we use these properties. So we can solve any determinant by using these properties, as we have discussed one of them. Similarly, you have to solve the question 5, questions of question 5 using the same method. Like in this B, use the properties of determinant to find the value without its expansion. One I have discussed during the discussion of the properties. So in next session of our discussion, we will discuss how to expand them using the properties, how to find the values of determinants. That's all for today. If anyone has any doubt, then he or she can write in comment box. Okay.